Hello, beautiful kindred souls, and welcome to my spiritual oasis. Here, weary souls come to find inner wisdom and peace. Today, we are doing a Soulful7 reading that is focused and guided by our fire energy. So the elements of fire is guiding our messages today. And as you can see, we have three decks that are representing the three groups that I will be reading for. So we are going to be, I am organizing it a little bit. So I am going to explain that in a moment. And before we get into that, I would like to invite you to join the Kindred family here on YouTube by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Click like on the video. Of course, it helps out my channel and it helps other kindred souls find the messages meant for them. Please do also drop a comment down below. Let me know what group you selected and any messages that resonate with you. And if you're interested in your own personal reading, you can connect with me on Etsy. Link is in the description below. All right, so Divine Masculine Fire Energy messages are our guide today. I'm so excited about, it's very fitting, right, that I'm excited about these fiery messages. And so I will let you know which groups correspond to which deck. And then I'm going to go into a little bit more information on the elements of fire, because, you know, you might not have a lot of fire placements in your chart or significant fire placements in your chart. But it's important to understand that all of the elemental energy plays out in our lives, obviously in various degrees and in various different ways. So it is important to understand that just because you might not have a lot of really strong fire placements in your chart, fire and the energies that are associated with fire still have an impact on your life. So we'll be talking a little bit about the fire element and what areas of life are included in there, so you can select your group based off of that. And then each of our decks is also associated with an astrological sign. So our fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And so each of the decks will correspond, and I'll go through that in just a moment. So you can pick by that as well, okay? You can look at your sun, moon, rising, see if you have any fire signs in your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Mars signs in your birth chart. Okay, so the groups. So as I mentioned, I have three groups prepared for you. So we have group 1 here. This is our dragon, let's see what it's actually called. The StarDragon Oracle deck is right here, and that's going to be Aries. We have Leo in the middle here, guided by our Gods and Titans deck. And then we have Sagittarius on the ends with our Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So you can pause the video if you need a moment to meditate on which group or groups has your message in it, or you can continue to listen to me talk about, of course, the element of fire and each astrological sign, just to, again, give you a little bit more information that might help you select your group. Okay, so the element of fire. Fire energy, the element of fire covers passion. It covers creativity. It's a divine masculine, outwardly expressive energy that talks about lust and things that excite us, that energize us, okay? So lust and passion, creativity. There is an active, sort of adventurous energy, a curiosity, and a little bit of rebel, a little bit of devil may care as well in fire energy. Our fire energies are, you know, connected and focused on like our solar plexus chakra energy, because again, they cover like the things that we're passionate about. And in order, you know, to truly pursue what we're passionate about, we have to know what we're passionate about and know ourselves, and it helps us to connect deeper to ourselves when we tap into those passions and the things that really excite us. As I mentioned in my water element video, creativity is associated with water, but it's also associated with fire, okay? So fire is creativity, but it's more like creativity in action, whereas I would say water energy is more creativity, like it's conception, like thinking up ideas and dreaming up ideas, okay? That's more water. Fire is more about putting into action those ideas and those thoughts and figuring out clever ways to implement an idea. Okay, very action oriented. Fire there's doer energy. They do stuff, you know, they even learn by doing. I would say very hands-on, learn by doing, less talking, more doing, that sort of thing. Our fire energy can also be impulsive, because remember, they're action. It's action. Burning. You don't burn forever. You gotta, you know, it's sprints, right? So our fire energy can be impulsive, spontaneous, which I feel like spontaneous is a more enjoyable version of impulsive. The fire energy connects to our initiative and what we're willing to fight for, right? I say fight for what we're passionate about, what we're willing to fight for, what we start, what we begin, what we initiate, what we go after. Fire energy, again, I mentioned like ourself, our creativity, and our expansive, sort of adventurous nature to us. I feel like there's a very sociable aspect as well, especially like in Sagittarius energy, that very adventurous, outgoing, sort of curious energy to fire. I'm just trying to think if there are any other parts and pieces. So in astrology, the fire houses, the first house is a fire house, which is typically ruled by Aries. And then the fifth house is connected to Leo energy. And the ninth house is connected to Sagittarius energy. Okay, so we'll go about that a little bit more in detail. All right. So that was our conversation pretty much around fire. So let's dive into the actual signs itself. So we started off with Aries energy. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac, okay? And Aries is a cardinal fire sign. So Aries is an initiator. Aries starts things. Some of you are like, I don't know. Aries starts things, initiators, begins things. Aries being associated with the first house often talks about, the sense of self, right? This is not to be offensive if you are an Aries, but Aries, from my experience, and what I hear other people say about Aries is that they can be selfish, which anybody can be selfish, but Aries Aries does naturally rule the first house, which is about the self. It's about who you are as an individual and how you fit in the world. It's that sense of self, identity, ego, that sort of thing. The planet Mars is the ruling planet of Aries. And I talked about this a little bit when I talked about Scorpio energy. But Mars is, the planet of war, right? It talks about war. And Aries is the divine masculine side to the planet of Mars. And as mentioned in my water video, all of the ancient planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, I think I got all of them, have both divine feminine, have a divine feminine side and a divine masculine side to them. The sun and the moon are not planets. They're heavenly bodies, right? The sun is a star, the moon is a moon. And so they are, the sun is masculine and all masculine, pure masculine energy, and the moon is pure feminine energy. But the planets in ancient astrology have both a divine masculine and a divine feminine side to them. So Aries, Aries, yes, Aries is the divine masculine side to Mars. So we think of war, Aries is the soldier that's charging into battle. You see him running across the fields, shouting his war cry. Aries isn't afraid to pick a fight. Aries isn't afraid to fight for what he believes in. Aries charges forth. You know what Aries is going after. You know what his goals and targets are. It's very wide open and apparent. And, you see him navigating through his life, and he's ambitious, and everyone knows it, right? Scorpio on the flip side is all of that, but internal, right? So Scorpio, being the divine feminine side to Mars, is that inwardly strong energy. So the other side to war, okay? Aries is leader. Leadership is a strong calling card to Aries energy. Fire signs in general, all of them are charismatic and can be charming, but they have a very charismatic energy, right? They're fire, they're intense, and they're passionate. So people are drawn to that, like a moth to a flame. They're drawn to that passionate energy. Aries are often very confident and sometimes borderline cocky in the low vibration, right? When you go too far. Confidence is actually really good and positive and strong attribute to have. Of course, any attribute gone too far starts to vibrate in a low vibrational way, so it ends up being a problem. But confidence is a calling card for Aries and pretty much all of the fire signs as well. And again, that initiator sort of leadership energy makes Aries very attractive to people because Aries knows where he's going. He isn't afraid to take the lead, and people like that about him, or a lot of people do. All right, so moving on to Leo energy. So Leo is a fixed fire sign and connected to the 5th house in astrology. The 5th house covers our creativity, or I should say our unique mark on the world. When we are channeling Leo energy and 5th house energy, we want to know what our unique mark on the world is going to be as an individual. And so, Leo covers that, right? The house of creativity, the house of theater and acting and creative pursuits in many different ways, shapes, and forms, including children, are also covered in the 5th house, because what greater mark on the world can we leave than procreation, right? So Leos are the royalty of astrology. There is something majestic about Leo. Of course, the lion is their, glyph, or their animal connection, or their glyph connection. And there's something regal, very, very charming, charismatic, calming, and magnetic about Leo energy and Leos in general. I've met a number of Leos, women and men, and they all hold kind of that regal sort of energy where it's you just want to be around them. You want to be liked by them. You know what I mean? They just have that magnetic energy to them. Being a fixed fire sign can make them a little stubborn, and when it comes to what they want, they can be stubborn about that, because fire energy talks about passion, right, and desire, what we want. And so being fixed in that way can make them a little, they want what they want. And they usually get what they want, by the way. What else can we say about Leos? Leo energy to me is very big, and Leo energy is connected to the sun. So the sun is bright and hot. The sun grants life. The sun is intense, and the sun it also brings joy, and it gives us the vitamin D. And I always feel like when the sun is out, I always want to spend money. I don't know if that has any sort of grounding in anything besides the fact that I always want to spend money when the sun is out. And it just makes us joyous. And, it talks about life. It brings the day, right? It talks about the day and the fact that things are open and you can see them. And, I feel like that's one thing also about, any of the fire signs, but, like Leo in particular, it's like, what they want what they want, and they typically get what they want. Like, there's very little mystery in that aspect of it. Yeah. Just because I feel like because Leo is the only sign associated with the sun, it's very intense and robust energy, because that heavenly body isn't sharing its energy. There is no dark side, right, to the sun. It's always burning in its full capacity all the way around 360. So very intense. All right, so Sagittarius. My Venus is in Sagittarius, so I get you. Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign that's associated with the planet Jupiter, and the 9th house. So Jupiter is a very expansive, dynamic energy. It pretty much just expands any energy it connects to. So if you are nice, you would be super nice, under Jupiter's energy. If you are a conniving jerk, you would be a super conniving jerk, right? So it just expands whatever it's next to, whatever energy it's connected to or next to. It just amplifies. Jupiter is connected to luck. It's a benefic planet, meaning that its energy brings benefits. It's beneficial to you. And Sagittarius, being the fire side, being the divine masculine side to Jupiter, because, like I mentioned, there's a divine masculine, divine feminine side to all of the planets. Jupiter makes that sense of adventure and optimism and growth and expansion and learning and all of these sorts of things. It expands that desire inside of Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is a mutable sign, meaning that some people just say that mutable energy means that these signs can change easily. I personally feel like immutable energy makes us, like, a sign that is mutable needs change in order to feel fulfilled. So particularly with Sagittarius energy connected to fire energy, and it talks about passion and pursuits and adventure and travel and all that stuff, I feel like this individual who has strong Sagittarius places in their chart not only are good at changing, but they need change. That could be like change in interest, change in passions, change in lovers, change in many different areas of their life in order to feel like they are living their life to the fullest. Sagittarius energy, again, is connected to the 9th house. So the 9th house is the house of, it's connected to knowledge and higher learning. It's kind of like the house of, it really talks about things that are really important to us. And those are the things that we pursue deeper, and that what we want to learn more about, what like our knowledge base, what we want to be our knowledge base, and what we're really interested and curious about, what we want to dig into more. But it's like the things that are most important to us is what the ninth house covers. Sagittarius is good at learning, constantly wants to learn, like never wants to stop learning. And I feel like that's the mutable energy as well. Learning particularly through experiences, meeting new people, going to new places, traveling, experiencing, like eating, you know, like doing the stuff, right? Not just reading about food, but trying the food, not reading about these different places, but going to them and experiencing them. What can I say about Sagittarius? Sagittarius doesn't really like to plan. Sagittarius is not really a planner, doesn't really vibe with like routines. There's a lot of spontaneous energy to Sagittarius. And I would say fickleness too. It'd be like a low vibrational version of the Sagittarius, like ability to change and stuff, like fickleness, you know, saying you're going to show up for the party and you don't because you changed your mind or whatever, you know. I would say boredom, like getting bored too easily might be another struggle with Sagittarius and low vibration, but yeah, that's kind of what. Oh, so the centaur is the energy also associated with Sagittarius, and the centaur in astrology, or Sagittarius is I don't know what you want to mascot. I guess not really mascot. Is the only part animal, part human creature in astrology, which kind of talks about Sagittarius's like connection to, Sagittarius are really active too. I kind of left that out, like very active, like to like I said do a lot of things, but I wasn't very specific, but like dance and working out, exercising, like a lot of physical activities and things like that. And that's kind of associated with the horse side. If you're not familiar with what a centaur is, it's half horse, like a horse on the bottom half and a man like torso. And so Sagittarius, like running around and being active and all of that kind of stuff, is associated with like the horse side to Sagittarius. Can also be connected to like the feral energy, or the kind of like the basic like animal instinct sort of energy. And then like the refined, you know, civilized kind of man side, if you will, civilized in quotation marks, would be the human half, or human, portion. And the centaur often has a bow and arrow, and is also often seen like shooting for the stars, which is a very Sagittarius thing, especially when it comes to like goals and achieving things and going after stuff. That when Sagittarius is really passionate about it, they shoot for the stars, right? That expansive Jupiter energy. All right, so I feel like I rambled enough about the element of fire and the signs. So pause the video at this point in time if you stayed this long through this portion, if you need to meditate on your group. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and scoot right into the rest of the readings. Hello, group number 1 in my Aries group. Welcome to your Soulful7 reading. We're going to go ahead and shuffle out some guiding energy for you. Oops. I feel like we don't have a lot of room for some odd reason. All right, so we have transformation. Defining yourself. Ooh, I love this. Connected to Aries energy, because we already talked about, when we talked about Aries, that Aries is a sign that really covers who we are as an individuals, like that sense of self, right? That first house of self. Who are we? And for some odd reason, I'm thinking about like babies and toddlers and stuff. And when they come in the world, they're trying to figure out who they are and how they fit into this environment that they're in, of course. And they are interacting with their parents and other, people often, and trying to figure out who they are in relationship to everyone else around them and the energies around them. So now I'm questioning whether or not we have enough light. The sun is starting to go down. Okay. I hope that's good enough. So transformation is really interesting. This could definitely be talking about you being in a position or a place right now in your life where you're transitioning from one state of being, one physical place, maybe a job, maybe a relationship, but you're transitioning from one place or space to the next, and it's transforming you. So if you look at the imagery a little bit closer, we can see this dragon looks like it might have been I can't tell if it was white before and it's becoming red or vice versa. But it looks like it's kind of transforming into a different energy or a different entity. And life feels like in life we are constantly transforming, actually, and many of the lessons around transformation happen gradually, some of them abruptly, or at least they're initiated abruptly, some of them, but this feels like it's connected to, like, maybe you're transforming into a place of, this is going to be weird depending on when you're watching this, but a place being more social, being more outgoing, networking more, connecting with people more. As I'm kind of looking at that number 3, I do want to, I'm gonna make everything. Okay, so let's take a look at the little book here. All right. So these are just some questions to maybe consider, maybe even to journal on, for this week, as this is a Soulful7 reading. Who are you? Who do you choose to be? I think that's interesting that they say choose. Take a moment to decide and define who you are and what you would like to be, for neither are set in stone, but continuously grow as you define and refine your presence. The dragon reminds us that we are shapeshifters. You are a shapeshifter. You transform and they see you. Or now they see you, now they don't. Embrace growth and change. These are the essence of your being. Defy every label and categorization. Let the world see all your colors and shades. Find your rhythm and enhance your frequency. Switch things up and try something new. Be fearless and powerful when embarking on a journey of self-transformation. The time has come to redefine and refine you. Be bold. I love that message. I do. I love that message, and I'm glad that that is your guiding message today, Group 1. So let's see. What do we want to add to the conversation? I really liked this idea of, sometimes we just need to reflect on who we are as individuals. I feel like sometimes we just bumble through life and we don't always take time to reflect and look back on who we are and how far we've come and how much we've grown. So we have peace. I love that. As you transform and you redefine yourself and rediscover yourself, I feel like there's a really strong message around coming to terms with and being at peace with the person that you are and the person that you are going to be and the person that you are becoming. I feel like sometimes we put so much emphasis and even pressure on just being one thing. And I'm particularly thinking about, like, when you're, I don't know, this is maybe just me, but like when you're thinking about like marketing a business, or you're thinking about like creating a LinkedIn profile, and you feel like you have to be this one individual, when actually in reality we're all sorts of energies, right? We're a combination of all these different energies in different percentages, and that changes over time where our interests lie, and the different energies that we reflect and or connect with in different stages of our life. So I feel like there's just a strong message around allowing yourself grace and being at peace with the process as you go through your journey, and not being so strict or stringent, I guess, with that. And then Rodochrosite is coming in here to remind us, or to remind you in this particular situation, to remember your worth. So as you're going through this transformation, redefining and rediscovering who you are, remember your worth. And I feel like, I don't know, this message might be very specific to an individual, but I feel like there's a strong message around, you know, especially when you're navigating love, passion, lust, whatever it is, whatever you're interested in, to know your worth and understand what you want, what you desire, and whether or not an individual is able to be that, you know. And it's okay if they're not. There's tons of people in the world. Just saying. Throwing it out there for you. But I feel like, you know, with Aries energy present, that there are really strong messages around you initiating change and transformation, and really just getting down to who you are and asking yourself some of these little challenging questions, and journaling on that and really leaning into it. And I feel like there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot there, and it's a thick assignment. Like it might take you might have to mull on that for a couple of weeks to do it any justice. But all right, so we have the King of Swords. So the message that I'm getting from the King of Swords is this fire-air energy combination. But the King of Swords is really talks about the truth, and on a deeper level than just like what comes out of your mouth, but what comes out of your soul, like your heart. What are you saying to yourself? How are you speaking to yourself? And what do you believe? What are your true beliefs? What does the truth? Who are you really, truthfully? So I have the Nine of Swords here, and I feel like the Nine of Swords is, it could be talking about nightmares, and as you go through this transformation, or even you might be kind of like approaching it and have been having nightmares or difficulty sleeping. Maybe you've been in your head a lot lately, and you've been kind of, I'm just imagining like, you kind of questioning, right? Who am I? Is this really what I want? Am I doing what I want to do? Am I working where I want to work? Am I, spending my life energy on something I truly believe in? Am I where I want to live? Am I with the people I want to be? I just feel like there's a lot of maybe mental churning. And I feel like this is very much so connected to the King of Swords energy, saying, it's time to move past just the mental churn and get to a place of truth. Be real, be honest with yourself. What are you really feeling? What do you really want? And are you getting it in your current situation, in your current job, in your current relationships, in your current place, space, and just kind of take a real account of these entities. We have a Six of Swords. Oh my gosh, we have so much swords. Like, some of you might be really in your mind, like in your headspace right now, trying to figure out some things, which I feel like makes a lot of sense since we have transformation as our guiding energy today. And so, the Six of Swords really just talks about starting over. starting anew. So we have, I feel like you are this energy. I feel like you're potentially even receiving help or receiving assistance from someone to help you on a new journey or new path that you're going on in life. As you find and discover your truth, it might include a physical relocation. It might include, you just peeling yourself away from the typical people and places and spaces maybe that you're used to, and engaging in different energy, different places and spaces and people. But for some of you, I'm feeling for some of you, it's a physical relocation, that moving somewhere else is going to be a part of this new part of your life that you're embarking on. And then we have St. John's wort. The key word there is stabilize. Yep. I feel like there might be a lot of tumultuous energy initially, as many transformations and changes are tumultuous, or at least they start off that way. But I feel like there's a strong message here around, I feel like it's just Spirit saying it will stabilize, that it will rest, it will set. There will be firm ground for you to land on. Some of you might be in the boat right now, right? And all you feel are these tumultuous water rocking you back and forth, and you might be feeling like, oh my gosh, is there ever going to be any stability or settling? And with the St. John's wort, I feel like this is just Spirit saying, yes, there will be a settling. There will be a moment where things calm. And then we have the fern. And the fern really just talks about growth. And I feel like through kind of all of the tumultuous energy, there is going to be growth that happens there. And sometimes it's hard to say. I feel like growth is one of those things that, like when you're watching something, I feel like I mentioned this in another reading, but when you're watching a plant grow, or you're watching the pot boil, it feels like it takes forever. But you walk away from that pot on the stove and you come back 10 seconds later, you're like, what? It only took you 10 seconds? Well, when I was watching you, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like growth happens that way too. We often don't notice when we grow, or when, say, a child grows or something, until, if we're with them every day, until there's some space and we're able to like look back and be like, oh my gosh, we need a reference often to know when we're growing. And I feel like, doing this exercise and really sitting down and journaling through these questions about who you are, what do you want to be, who you want to be, all that kind of stuff. Who are you choosing to be? I think really journaling through those questions is actually going to be really helpful for you to see your growth when you come back. That's like one really strong benefit of journaling, is that you can come back to it. And I've done that myself. I started doing some journaling several years ago, and like when you come back to it, you're like, oh, I accomplished that thing I was after. Or I remember when I was really nervous about this and that, and now I've gotten to the point where that's not an issue anymore. I'm not nervous about that at all. I'm comfortable with that, or in that space. So I feel like there's a message for you here around journaling so that you can track your growth. So we have the target here, which is a goal-oriented person. That could definitely be talking about you. I suppose it could also be talking about the King of Swords. The King of Swords could represent a person with strong air sign placements in their chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and an air sign. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This could also be you the target, this goal-oriented person. And I feel like if this is talking about you, if you're feeling connected to this message, or you feel like you're goal-oriented, sometimes with spiritual endeavors and spiritual growth and spiritually connected goals, the outcomes aren't always as clear as some other goals, if that makes any sense, as more tangible goals, right? Because these aren't tangible. They're spiritual and emotional and, mental. So I feel like it's just being kind and understanding that these things will happen. We just have to keep working through them. And I would say there's even a message here around setting some goals for this. And I feel like journaling helps you to do that. Taking account of where you're at now and where you want to be, right? And I feel like, I definitely feel like this message is connected to the questions and the journaling that we talked about with the transformation card. And then we have the funnel, okay? Yeah, funnel really makes sense here. A period of frustration and lessons to be learned. I mean, I feel like that's just a reiteration and just a reminder that there are going to be moments and times in this journey that you're on right now that are going to be frustrating as you are navigating newness and, figuring out these different areas and aspects of your journey in your life. Okay. And then we have a rat, someone working against you behind your back. And I feel like, this doesn't necessarily have to be applicable to everyone, but I do feel like this is connected to, I feel like I mentioned this a little bit before earlier about you maybe having to get away from the people and the places and spaces that you're typically used to going. As we go through and navigate through to a different point and place in our lives, especially when we're getting in alignment with our path and purpose, I feel like, not everybody in the old places and spaces are going to be supportive of this change, because often that means that you're leaving them behind. So I feel like it's just a message around being mindful of who you keep in your circle and just watch your back a little bit and just be mindful. Get out of those places and spaces where that people aren't in support of what you're doing and the progress that you're making in your life, and find a new group of people. Like, there are so many like-minded individuals out there and ways to connect. So I feel like there's just a message around being mindful about who you keep around you. And I feel like just overall, maybe even as a little bit of a summary, for you, group number 1, my Aries group, I feel like there's a strong message around you focusing on this idea of transformation and embarking on a new journey of your life and defining or redefining who you are as an individual, or refining who you are as an individual. Do some journaling if you don't already do journaling, so that you can track your progress. And, as you're going through this process, remember your worth, remember who you are, remember that you are infinitely important and loved and connected, and all of these really beautiful messages. And understand that on this journey to truth and on this journey of truth and justness and fairness to ourselves, primarily in this particular situation, that, there might be times where we get frustrated. There might be times where, we might feel like we are unstable or we don't have firm ground under us as we're growing and changing, right? Growing pains. And there might be some mental anguish and distress and challenging things that we might have to do. But just understand that you are protected, that the universe is looking out for you, that you are peace. And you can cultivate and call forth that peace whenever you need to in this journey. You know, there's a message here around meditation, maybe even doing yoga or some other sort of physical calming, you know, rituals, as you're kind of navigating through some of the tumultuous waters of this leg of your journey. So my beautiful soul, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I hope this was helpful for you. If something resonated, do drop a comment down below and let me know it did. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already connected here on YouTube. And if you're interested in your personal reading, you can connect with me on Etsy. Link is in the description. So thank you so much again for your time and your beautiful energy. And I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your Soulful7 reading. Alright, so you chose the Gods and Titans deck and are connecting with Leo energy today. So whether you have strong Leo placements in your birth chart or you're just vibing with some of the energy of Leo, the very charming, charismatic, sociable, outwardly expressive sort of energy, then you've selected the correct group. So let's go ahead and shuffle out a guiding message for you today, group 2. Let's see. These cards are really big. Okay, so Achilles keeps flying out. So Achilles, which makes a lot of sense for my Leoians. All right. So the key word for Achilles is confidence. And I really love this for you. So I feel like with this message being channeled from our Leo energy, that confidence makes a lot of sense. And so you're being encouraged to cultivate, you know, I feel like if we're doing a journaling exercise, it would be like, in what ways can you strengthen your confidence? And I feel like one of those ways is being, you know, doing and being an expert at something that we are really passionate about and we enjoy. So like that topic that whenever somebody brings it up, you get super excited about it and you could just talk for an eternity about it. Doing things that we really love, being an expert at something that we really enjoy is a way to boost our confidence and build our confidence. I feel like knowing where we're going and doing it, I feel like is another way to really boost our confidence as well. And what does that even mean? Like when you know what your strengths are and you know what your path is and your purpose and you're headed that direction, I feel like that cultivates confidence in us as well. So getting in alignment with your path and purpose, if you aren't already, is a really good exercise to embark on in order to increase your confidence. All right, so we have the Four of Swords as well as the Eight of Cups. Wow, this card is really big, isn't it? So I feel like in general, I feel like you are in the process of embarking on a new adventure. So the Eight of Cups is telling me that wherever you are right now, you might be feeling insecure. You might be feeling disappointed or sad, but I feel like you are carving your own path. You're leaving behind something that's either been holding you back, or it's been uncertain, or it could even be something that's been kind of dampering your confidence, or someone. Or something. Maybe a job or something. But you're leaving behind something that could be perfectly good or appear to be perfectly fine. And you're leaving that behind to embark on a journey that is going to be more fitting for you and where you're going in your direction. And I feel like this is going to bring about peace. So if you haven't already gotten to this place, you're being encouraged to get to this place, because leaving behind those empty cups, I mean, they could be full, but I'm just imagining these cups being empty. They look full, right? They look full. They look, they're structured and organized and stuff. And so it looks good. But I feel like there's something missing and you know it, right? There's something missing. There's a gap or an opening. There's something missing and you know it. And instead of just sitting there and living in that space, you are leaving, right? You're taking another path to somewhere else. You don't know where you're going, right? You're not 100% sure, but you know that where you are is not where you belong, okay? And so we have the Chariot. So with the Four of Swords here, I feel like that's going to bring you peace, right? Moving on, even if you don't know exactly where you're going and all of that kind of stuff, is going to bring you peace. And the Chariot could be, I feel like, it's kind of the next leg of the journey. You're embarking on this trip. You don't know where you're going. There might even be some confusion. You might be tugged between a couple of different places or spaces or jobs or careers or whatever. There might be some things that you're kind of mulling over and you're toying with, and you're not exactly certain what's next, but you're ready. So that's what the Chariot really tells me, is that you're ready. You got all of the trappings, you got everything, you have everything that you need, you're ready to go forth. I feel like you're in a place and space of manifestation as well. It's kind of what I'm vibing here. You just have to get direction. So I feel like there might even be a strong message or indication that that you need to. I'm trying to think about how to say this. Yeah, I just feel like you need to give yourself some direction, and that might include doing some doing meditations, what am I talking about? Yeah, doing meditations, doing journaling, tapping into your gifts and talents. If you're not sure what those things are, you can take a look at your birth chart. That's actually one of the most popular readings on my website, is gifts and talents. And what I would look for in your birth chart is I would look at your Venus. What sign is it in and where is it in your birth chart? What house does it live in? And the sign and the house, those energies can give you really good hints about what some of your gifts and talents might be. I would look to see in your birth chart if there are any like strong elemental energies in your birth chart, or any strong I would just look to see if there are any strong elemental energies or aspects or duplicities or triplicities in your birth chart that might give a hint on where you might sway or be interested in. I would look to see if there are any planets and any aspecting planets connected to your 5th house of creativity. But I feel like Venus is kind of the easiest one, because Venus really talks about what we love in all its ways, shapes, and forms. What we love, what we enjoy, what brings us happiness, what our muses are, right? Indulgences. That's Venus energy. So take a look at your Venus energy and see where it lives in your charts. Okay. So we have this indecision. And so Red Jasper popped out and said, look, you need to take action. You need to do something. And I feel like this message is really connected to, well, first of all, I want to say Achilles energy, right? Achilles had no problem taking action. There was nothing uncertain about his character. Whenever I've seen him represented, he's always super confident, bordering on arrogant, and just, you know, takes action. It's like muscle memory. He knows he can fight, and there's nothing questioning his ability to fight. And so he just fights. He doesn't second guess his ability. He just knows he can. And I feel like Red Jasper is basically saying, in order to get to that place, you have to do something. Even if it's the wrong thing, doing something is going to give you an answer, right? If it's the wrong thing, it's going to give you the answer and tell you, hey, that wasn't the right thing. Then we have to try something else, right? So I feel like there's a message around taking action and granting yourself the ability to make mistakes, mess up, fail, you know, start a business and fail and start another business. I feel like there's a really strong statistic, and I can't tell you exactly where I heard this, but I've heard this on several different occasions, that a lot of really successful business people have had multiple different ventures, and many of those ventures have failed, and really we only know them for the ones that succeed. So the message here is not necessarily telling you to start a whole bunch of businesses, but the idea here is that you do something, you take action, and you allow yourself to learn and grow through whatever, you know, the situation is, and not be afraid, I guess, is really what we're going for. Not to be afraid to make mistakes as you embark on this leg of your journey, because that'll also help you. Again, that'll help you figure out what you're after and what you want. So do it. Get out there, put yourself out there, make a decision, and just go with it. And if you have to turn around and go back, then turn around and go back. Or if you have to completely go a different direction, then completely go a different direction, you know? And then we have practice patience with Lemurian quartz. And I feel like, you know, through this process of trial and error, of building confidence, is that you have to be patient, and you have to allow yourself, you have to grant yourself grace and allow yourself room to mess up and try something else, and mess up again and try something else, and oh, that worked, but maybe this didn't, or I liked this, or I'm not very good at that, maybe we outsource, you know, just being patient and being open and willing to hear yourself out and allow yourself to try new things and make mistakes and all of that beautiful stuff. So we have Marshmallow, and the message here with Marshmallow is this idea of adversity. And I feel like with Marshmallow, there's a really strong message around, again, I feel like it's really just connected to the fact that, you know, you're gonna run into things that are painful, that are difficult, that are, you know, not what you expected, and all of these sorts of things. And I feel like it's just kind of like roll with the punches a little bit, be gracious to yourself, allow yourself the ability to mess up and get up and try again, and just know that this journey is there. There's going to be some adversity, there's going to be some difficulty and some challenge, and that's okay, that's good, because we can learn from it and grow from it. And then Salal here with Subdue. I feel like there's a message here around subduing your fears. Yeah, I feel like there's a strong message around subduing your fears, subduing that nagging voice that tells you that you can't or shouldn't, or you don't deserve that, or you can't do that, or, you know, that voice that is really annoying and that keeps you from taking chances. I feel like there's a strong message around subduing that voice, that naysayer. Put that naysayer to bed. Ooh, this popped. The dolphin popped right in my face. Literally almost hit me in the face. Okay, so, yeah. So in the dolphin, we see financial gain. usually coming from something that you did in the past. So reaping some positive, strong benefits, often financial strong benefits from something you've done in the past. So that might be very specific to somebody. It's exciting. Dolphin energy. For some reason, the show Flipper is like in my brain. I don't know why. All right, we have grapes. Time to go out and have fun. Oh, I like that. Time to go out and have fun. You know, that's a really wonderful message, because I feel like sometimes, you know, we can get all serious and we get in our heads and we get in our hearts and we get in our chests. And, you know, we focus so much on the spirituality and the journey and journaling and diving into who we are and answering all these deep questions. And I feel like through this card, that Spirit is just reminding us to have fun and enjoy ourselves, right? We weren't enjoying ourselves back here, you know? And I feel like there's a message around, yes, you're doing all of the beautiful spiritual things that you should be doing for yourself. But I feel like there's that message around enjoying life, not forgetting to enjoy life, even through the transition and the uncertainty. Have fun as you embark on this new journey and you're discovering what you want and who you are and all of these sorts of things. Like, enjoy that process. I feel like there's a really, really strong message around that. And then we have the quill. Get back to the basics. I love that. I love these tea leaf messages for you, group 2. I feel like they're right on points. What are the basics for you? That's a question. Maybe journal about that. What are the basics for you? And I feel like for some of the things that are coming to my brain are like, what are those things that you have fun doing? What are those things that you enjoy? Like I said, again, looking at that Venus energy in your birth chart. What do you love? What do you love to do? How do you like to express yourself? What inspires you? What are the little indulgences that you like, you know? I feel like that's just really coming through strong. Get back to the basics. What are the basics to you? What are things that you enjoy? Are there things that you already are confident in, and maybe you can get more confident in them if you do them more? You know, sometimes I feel like as we go through life, we might drop some things off that we really love, and if we pick those things up, that might just naturally increase our confidence. Something that already lives inside of us that we just have to reawaken. I feel like rest, having fun, and getting back to the basics are really, really, really strong messages for you today, group number 2. I feel like you are going through, or you're about to embark on some new adventure, that you're leaving something behind that is not serving you, but you don't necessarily know where you're going next. And I feel like Spirit is saying it's okay that you don't know where you're going next. To be at peace with that. Like, let your mind rest. Be at peace with that. Subdue the voices in your head, those negative voices in your head. Be patient with yourself. Yes, you're going to encounter some adversity, but that's okay. It's a part of life, you know? And just overall, just taking action and doing something, right? Not standing still, not sitting there thinking and flippity-flopping your mind back and forth. Just taking action, doing something, because you can always go back or change or switch it up along the way if you find out that that's not the right way. But if you're just stuck, you know, you're not progressing, you're not moving forward, you're not pursuing your passions in life. So those are really the strong messages that I had for you today, group 2. I hope this was helpful for you. I really love this reading for you. If something did resonate, please do drop a comment down below and let me know it did. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if we are not already connected here on YouTube. And if you're interested in your personal reading, you can connect with me on Etsy. Link is in the description bar below. Thank you again so much for your time and your beautiful energy, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye. Hello, Group 3, Sagittarius group, and welcome to your Soulful7 reading. So we're going to go ahead, shuffle out some guiding energy for you. Again, we have the elements of fire, and specifically Sagittarius in this group, guiding our messages today. Let's see what Sagittarius has for you. Truth be told. Ooh. Ooh, okay, so this feels very fitting for Sagittarius energy, because I feel like Sagittarius energy, like Sagittarius is always out in search of wisdom and information and knowledge. So these are the messages that I'm receiving off of this card. Something is hidden. There's some sort of dishonesty right now in your world, whether that be from you or from someone or entity around you. But with your keen eye and your perspective, your knowledge and intuition and your wisdom, the truth will be set free. The truth will be revealed. And that really goes for like anything. So again, whether it's you being dishonest, the truth of your dishonesty will come to the light. Or if you're being deceived in some way, that truth will also come to light. So very interesting beginning to this message. And we have the number 5 present here, as the number 14 reduces down to the number 5. Where did I put that? Can't wait till I make this into a deck. Okay, so number 14 is also a karmic number. I just feel like this message is screaming at me. Okay, so so the number 14 is a karmic number that talks about spiritual lessons around freedom. This number is connected to extremes, and there's a message around temperance connected to the number 14 as well. And that temperance will allow you to find joy and to learn by experiencing and trying new things, find balance in what's right for you. You're choosing to restrict your freedom. So it's basically saying you're choosing to restrict your freedom because you're practicing temperance and you're finding what that balance and harmony is in your life. Living life on your own terms and without blaming others for where you are, taking responsibility for your life, and the actions and the trajectory of your life will give you freedom. There's a message around learning how to be flexible and adapt to change, forgiveness for the past. There might be some issues with addiction or self-denial of pleasures. So they're talking about really extremes here. So this idea of moderation and enjoying healthy indulgences and allowing yourself to have fun and honoring, while also honoring your health and your well-being. So that's very deep and intense. But I feel like very fitting to this truth be told. That's why I had to dig that up. So let's dig into more of your reading here. Let's add some crystal energy. Truth will come to light. Balance, moderation, temperance. So we have appetite. So getting out of your comfort zone is a strong message here in appetite. And I feel like this is also talking about, sometimes we get comfortable, oftentimes when we think of the word comfortable, we think of like indulgences, right? You're comfortable with indulging in life or different aspects of life. But I feel like sometimes we also get comfortable in, you know, deprivation and, you know, being down on ourselves, beating ourselves up, restricting ourselves and restraining ourselves and denying ourselves any sort of pleasure and fun, because we don't think we deserve it. We don't think we're worth doing something or another. And so I feel like there's a strong message of getting out of your comfort zone, getting out of the extremes, getting out of this any unhealthy sort of behaviors connected to how you view yourself and how you talk to yourself and navigate life in all its different ways, shapes, and forms. So we have Rainbow Obsidian showing up, and I feel like there's a strong message here around healing your hearts. Some of you may have been hurt in the past, whether from a relationship or maybe even from like a family related thing, like how you were raised or growing up. If your heart is damaged from like childhood situations, I would encourage you to do root work, because root work really helps us get down to some of those young life, childhood sort of struggles and issues that we have, and that's real talk. I've gone through some intense root work myself, and it was hard to face the facts in some situations and circumstances, and hard to admit or acknowledge some things, right? Getting out of your comfort zone in that way. But it was probably one of the most rewarding experiences, because it really, again, it's that truth, right? It really opened my eyes up to the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes it really does hurt, but it's good. So we have the Four of Wands. Celebration. We have the Seven of Cups. So there might be some indecisiveness, indecision. Maybe that's where you're at right now, in a place or space of indecision. Four of Cups. You know, this card actually came out reversed, and I've been flipping my cards, but I usually have all the cards facing the correct way. But I am kind of reading this, honestly, reversed. That's kind of how I'm feeling it. Overall, it just feels like I don't know, it feels like you're stuck, Group 3. I feel like you're stuck. I feel like it's emotional. Feeling like you're stuck emotionally. I'm almost feeling also like a paralyzed energy. You're paralyzed in indecision. It's almost like emotionally you can't be, but it just feels like depression to me. You don't feel like anything's worth celebrating. You can't make up your mind about anything, so therefore you do nothing, and you kind of just stay in this cycle of negativity and darkness. And I feel like the Appetite and the Rainbow Obsidian are saying the only ways to get out of this cycle is to get out of your comfort zone, to do something, anything. Just make a decision, whatever it is. Do something. Change it up, switch it up. Change your places, change the spaces that you're in. And I feel like there's some really deep dive stuff that's going to have to happen, but I don't know if you're there yet. But the truth be told, that's really what it's talking about, is saying that you're gonna need to really take yourself through it. You're gonna need to do the uncomfortable things and ask yourself the difficult questions and acknowledge the difficult answers. And I think there's a lot to do, but I feel like in order to initiate all of the deep work, you have to do something to kind of get yourself out of this funk. I love that strawberry came up here. Enjoy. I really love this message around enjoyment. I feel like it's also Spirit saying it's okay to enjoy. It's okay to celebrate. It's okay to enjoy life. It's okay to pursue the things that you're passionate about and the things that you love, and to not feel guilty about indulging and treating yourself. Because life is about balance. Life isn't all about work, and it's not all about play, but it's about all of those. It's about those energies working in harmony with each other. Then we have Dandelion, which talks about humility. I feel like in order to get out of your comfort zone, you are going to have to humble yourself. Admitting that you are in a funk, admitting that you don't know how to get out, admitting, connecting with someone that you trust, and saying those things, journaling those things, getting it out it's going to be a really important step for you that you have to make the decision to take. Yeah, I'm just feeling really strong messages around humbling yourself enough to say, I don't know what I'm doing. And that might even mean connecting with someone or a community of people or something to get, just having some positive energy wrapping around you. But I feel like there's a really strong message around taking a step and just doing something that's really uncomfortable for you, which I feel like acknowledging the truth could be something that's really uncomfortable for you, or being in balance could be something that's really uncomfortable for you. And I'm getting the message for some of you that you might have been raised in a way that was really tumultuous. That tumultuous change, whether that be like physically relocating, or maybe there were, guardians or in your life that were in and out, or maybe inconsistent instruction in your life or something like that. Just feels very tumultuous for some of you, like in your past. And so it's normal. In fact, it feels weird when things are at peace and at harmony, and when you are at peace. So maybe you're afraid to be at peace. Maybe you're afraid to be in control. Maybe you're afraid of stability and harmony. If that's resonating with you, I feel like that's something, like, journal that down. Be honest with yourself, right? We're talking about the truth, and we're revealing those dark things that live inside of us that we don't want to admit to, but that manifest in our life. So if that's resonating with you, let's journal about that. Talk about that. What do you think the root of that is? Maybe we need to do some root work, and we need to dig into some of those deep-seated struggles and challenges that you're going through. Yeah. Woof, revealing. Revelations are challenging. Okay, so the pin is suggesting a new job or a new career. Maybe that's what you're having a challenge with, making the decision whether or not to take that job or something like that. Maybe I'm getting for some of you, especially if there's a job or something like that on the table, a new career, a new job opportunity. It's almost like self-sabotage, like you don't think you deserve it, or you don't think that you can have that, or that it's going to be taken away from you or something if you get excited about it, or if you celebrate it. Someone new is entering your life is what the chair filled is suggesting for you. I feel like for some of you, this is going to be somebody who's going to help you on your journey. Someone who's going to give you positive energy and support as you navigate through this next leg of your life. Oh man, keep messing up the spread. Well, of all of the ones that turned right side up, there was one that was upside down. So the kangaroo is suggesting needing to plan ahead because there might be some unsettled times, and I think that's true. So I feel like, if the job message was resonating with you, I feel like there's a message around, especially if you're relocating, to plan for that move, save up money, just to plan and like be ready because it's coming. All right, so I know this reading for you, group 3, was maybe a little bit more melancholy than I feel like my readings are usually. But I'm just sharing with you the truth, right? I'm just sharing with you what I'm vibing, what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing in the cards and the messages that Spirit is sharing with me. And you deserve to be happy. You deserve to enjoy your life. You deserve to celebrate the positive things that happen in your life, regardless of what your history says, regardless of what any negative energy or low vibrational energy or person or places or peoples or thoughts say. You deserve peace, harmony, happiness, joy in your life. And so claim that. Claim that. That's not to say that the negative energy doesn't exist. It does. We acknowledge that it does. But we're not allowing it to overpower those other truths. And those other truths are saying that I'm just feeling like you have to believe that I can talk all day and you can watch as many videos as you want, but until you believe that these things are meant for you, that positive energy, that comfort and balance and enjoyment of life, until you believe that that is meant for you, you're going to stay in this cycle of just darkness. Yes, I'm talking to you. You are meant to do something great. You are meant to do something more than what you're doing now. There is something in your heart, and you might not see it now. You might not think that you have anything to offer the world, but that's only because you can't see it. You can't see it because there's blockage, there's damage, there's something challenging your heart space. I can feel the blockage there. That's like almost keeping you locked up. It's keeping you from connecting emotionally. I feel like that's why the Four of Cups came up. You're keeping you from connecting emotionally. And I feel like there's maybe some root work that needs to happen. I feel like there is a release and opening up of your heart space and your heart chakra, and there's a lot of healing that needs to happen there. And I just feel like there's someone that's going to come into your life that's going to help you through this. But you have to be open. You have to be willing to listen to them. You have to be willing to do the work on your own. Like, they can't do it for you. No one can do it for you. I can't do it for you. Trust me, I want to. I just want to reach in and bust through so that it can open up your blessings. If you've tried to manifest in the past and haven't been able to, you might think, oh, this crap doesn't work, or this doesn't work for me. That's not true. It does work. It just, your blessings can't get in because there's blockage in your heart space is what I'm getting. And you have to clear that first. Once you clear that, then all of those beautiful energies can flood in. Here's my assignment for you. And maybe this will help you get out of your comfort zone. My assignment for you, my challenge for you, is to journal. Write down 3 things that you are good at. There has to be something. Write them down. I want you to write down 3 things that you're good at. And then I want you to, this week, write it down. How you are going to pull more of that into your life. I would like to challenge you to pull more enjoyment into your life as well. What are things that you enjoy doing? What are you good at? What do you like to do? What brings you comfort? What makes you happy? What makes you smile? What energizes you? What topics do you like to talk about that just light you up? Let's do that first. Let's baby step. Let's do that. Get out of your comfort zone on this too. Grow, push a little bit. Don't feel like you have to stay in a lane. Be expansive. Open up your heart. Go back to some time in your life where maybe you wrote poetry, or you were drawing, or you colored, or you sang, or you hummed, or you wrote lyrics, or you played some instrument or something like that. Like, really just open up, expand your heart and your mind. That's my challenge for you. My beautiful group 3, my Sagittarius group. This got deep and intense. So my beautiful souls, I hope this message was helpful for you. I hope this was enlightening and encouraging, and I hope you will take up my challenge if this resonated with you and you're maybe feeling a little low. If something did resonate, do let me know down below. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if we're not already connected. Connect with me on Etsy for a personal reading if you're interested in doing that. And again, thank you so much for your time and your energy, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye.